Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a makeup tutorial for Halloween or a fancy dress party, and it's of Cruella De Vil. Now, I love 101 Dalmatians, and I had a little look around on YouTube and there's quite a few tutorials, but for the green makeup look, which is from the cartoon version. But instead, just to mix it up, I'm gonna do Glenn Close's makeup look, so the red eye look instead. So I just thought it's a different take on it, same character. So anyway, let's get started to look like Cruella De Vil. So first things first, we're gonna start off with the base. I've already moisturised my skin, but I'm gonna use my trusty MAC Strobe Cream all over the face just to give a little bit of a glow. So already you can see that this is giving a nice healthy glow to the skin, but we are going to put foundation on top. I've had a little look at a few pictures of Glenn Close's Cruella De Vil, and her skin is quite pale. So what I'm going to do is actually mix two foundations together. This is definitely too pale for me. So this is the Revlon Colour Stay in Ivory, and I've got the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation in light vanilla, and I'm going to apply this all over my face. Now I'm just going to pop on a little bit of concealer to hide the spots and some redness around the nose. I'm not going to do the under eye area until after we've actually done the eye makeup. So I'm using the Lasting Perfection by Collection concealer. It's so good. Right, now you've done your first bit of concealer, we're going to move on to brows. Now Glenn Close has very dramatic eyebrows. Everything basically here is uber dramatic. Now I'm going to take my favourite new brush that I have, which is the Morphe M158. And I'm going to brush my brows up, and really because we want very thick brows. Right, now you can use your powders, but I'm actually going to use a brow gel instead. This is Benefit's KaBrow, and I'm going to draw basically a straight line from here to my arch, and then I'm going to extend it down, but I really want to accentuate, that's the word. I really want to accentuate the arch of my brow. I'm quite happy with those brow arches, so I'm going to leave it there for the moment. Now we're going on to eyes, and for this I'm using two palettes. I'm using the Alice in Wonderland Urban Decay palette, mainly for this shade here, which is, I don't even know how to say that, Salazan Grum, I think. And then the other palette that I'm using, and I'm so excited because this is the first time I'm using it, is the Morphe 350M. So that's basically the 350, but it's the matte version. And look how beautiful these colours are. I'm so excited to be using this, and basically I'm going to be using most of these colours in this kind of L over here. The first thing we're going to do is, I know we've neutralised the eye with a bit of foundation, but I'm going to use a colour just to really make sure that it's as skin-like and blank as I can. And I'm going to use this colour here, which is kind of a flesh-coloured base eyeshadow, and I'm going to use it on a Morphe MB20 brush. And I'm just putting this all over, including up to my brow bone. So me saying it's flesh coloured has actually got a little bit of pinkiness into it, but it's fine because it's the same kind of colour pattern as what we're going for. Next, I'm actually going to take this colour here, this third one down. It looks like kind of a brick autumnal reddy brown colour in here, but again, let's see what it comes out like actually on the eye. And I'm going to use a Real Techniques crease brush, and I am just going to work it through in the crease. It is red. I'm going heavier on the outer corner, but I've left that patch of lid alone, and that's intentional. What I'm going to do straight away as well is with a Real Techniques what is it? It's an accent brush, I think, yeah. Or just any sort of smudger brush like that. What I'm going to do is drag a little bit of this colour as close to the lash line as I possibly can. And I'm just connecting that to the outer bit of eyeshadow. I'm not winging it out too much at all. I think I'm happy that that's even, so we're just going to go in now and darken up this eye look a little bit more. Now this brick colour, it looks like a Coke colour red on camera, but it's not in person. It's a little darker. And I'm going to take this across the top line, not right up to the eyebrow, but just that little bit in between, just to darken it up a little. So to blend those together, I'm going to use a Morphe B81 brush, and I'm just going to work it back and forth, back and forth. Now, what I'm going to do is in this inner corner of the eye, but just underneath the brow, I'm going to add a little bit of contour, and I'm going to use a darker colour for this, I think. So I'm going to use this brown here. It's still very much in the red colour family, it's quite bricky, so I think it'll work quite well. And I'm just going to very gently go kind of back and forth again under there. So you can see that that's adding a little bit of contour. Okay, so now what we need to do is really go back into that crease and make this extra defined. I'm going to use the same brown colour actually, this one here, on the same crease brush that we used earlier. We don't need to overcomplicate it with loads and loads of brushes. Okay, now the last part of the eyeshadow that we're going to do is on that Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette that I mentioned. This colour here, I'm pretty sure this brush is from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, but basically I just want something that's going to pack on the colour really, really well, because it's just going to go along here, and it's because it's shimmery and everything else is matte, it should give us a really good bit of drama. Oh, look at that colour on the brush. Can you see how metallic that is? I'm just going to press it onto my actual eyelid. Okay, so now what we're going to do is use a little bit of highlighter on the inner corners of the eye and on top of what we've done on the brow bone. So this is MUA Undress Your Skin, and it's the pink shimmer. I'm going to use an Eco Tools brush for this. It is the eye shading brush, and I'm going to take that under the brow bone and the inner corner of my eye. Now the next part is to use some liquid liner. Now this is the Maybelline Master Precise Liquid Eyeliner. So just line your lashes as close to the lash line as you can. I'm going to go back in actually with some concealer now under my eyes to really lighten this up. And I'm going to go back to my Last Imperfection concealer that I used earlier. And I'm going to draw it in a triangle under my eyes. Once you're happy with the concealer that you've done and you think it's light enough under your eyes, now it's time to go in for some contour. Now I'm going to just use a matte bronzer. If you've got any contour palettes, then feel free to do so, but I'm going to use Benefit's Hoola bronzer for this. So I'm going to contour the nose because Corella's got quite a straight and pointy nose, and then also I am going to contour the hollows of my cheeks as well. To contour the nose, I'm going to use an eyeshadow brush just because it's going to be small, and I'm going to use the MAC 275, but then for the rest of my face and just other contour, I'm going to use a Real Techniques setting brush. And now I'm going to take a really large, I know this brush isn't for contour at all, but it's a full flawless face brush from Bare Minerals, and I'm just going to buff that whole line. Now Cruella De Vil, or at least Glenn Close's Cruella De Vil, wears an awful lot of blush. Now again with the same brush, so this is still the setting brush, I'm going to take, it's going to be quite dark for me, but again it's not me, it's the character. I'm going to take Coralista but mix it with a little bit of Dallas from Benefit. Mostly the Coralista, we want that pinkiness. And I'm just going to take this on the high points of the cheek. Now it is time to add the false lashes, and I've got some very cheap ones from Superdrug, so you really don't have to spend a fortune on these. These were £1. They are the Volume 303 lashes. I'm going to use some Duo Eyelash Glue. Look at the eyeshadows got everywhere. And I'm just going to pop these on. Now I've got my lashes on, I'm going to just use a really quick layer of mascara just to make sure that my lashes and the false lashes are suitably stuck together and you can't tell my lashes from the false ones. So all I do is blink onto the mascara wand. We are going to go on to lips. And I've got a MUA liner, and this was £1, it's so good, and there's a sharpener on the top, they're fantastic. And it's in Red Drama. And I'm going to overline my lips. This is going to look ridiculous, but it's kind of the point. Now I'm going to colour in the rest of my lips with the same liner. Right, now I've made a total mess of this new liner. I'm going to go on with my red lipstick. It's the Kate Moss for Rimmel lipstick, and it's in shade 01. I don't know if it's got a name, but it's quite a dark red. And it goes on, it's not matte, which is what I wanted. And it's also considerably darker than the liner, which is intentional, so hopefully it will really give it some interesting colour. Now the idea is you can see the outer line of lip liner without the colour on it. I don't know if it's just totally 90s, but I think it works quite well for Cruella De Vil. So next, and the final step, is to go back in with that MUA highlighter or whatever it is you use on your eyes and add a little bit to the cheekbone. So I'm going to use a fan brush. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm really happy with the final look, actually. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it. Please do leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. That would mean a lot. And please do subscribe to the channel for similar videos in the future. But thanks again for watching. Bye!